Welcome to the Holding Space podcast, a collection of interviews from youth workers learning how to support groups through facilitation, founded by the European Commission through the Erasmus Plus project.
I am Vanja from Serbia, and my organization is Zelena Doba, and we are doing different topics. We are covering around eco-villages, sustainability. We are part of Sustainability Network.
So since the last training you did, a few months ago, did you have any chance to use the tools you learned during the training in any events or anything that your project was doing?
Yes, I did my first facilitation when I was a main facilitator for the youth exchange Learn, Plan, Harvest, Share in Croatia. And also I did mentoring on my own community. I took it as a role as a facilitator as well, but it was hard stepping in and out of this role because I'm also a member of this. But I think even there I learned a lot, and it was a good field and space to actually experiment and try a bit some specific tools that are specifically tackling these community problems and growth instead of any kind of facilitation.
So you're saying then if you're facilitating your own group, it becomes more difficult?
Definitely.
Tell me why.
As we learned here, the facilitation role is usually very neutral and more holding the space and following the process, but not actually leading a group to any specific direction, but more letting them know, discovering what is the right direction for them and what is the right speed and what is the process. And facilitator is more designing and helping with the process and holding this process. And as enthusiastic member as I was also very goal-oriented, wanted to speed up the process, enthusiastic a lot about some specific stuff. And having these both roles, when I actually as a member wanted to give this empowerment, but then as a facilitator I wanted to stay more in this neutral role, also empowering but in a different way. It was a bit hard. But luckily my community was aware of all of this and also trying to put me back in places, and also sometimes it was even reversed. I was too much facilitator and not enough a member, so I forgot to share my emotional part, my emotional visions, and they always remind me, but what about you? Where are you here?
Somehow I guess then this learning make you behave somehow in a different way in your groups. Maybe you give you some more clarity about what are the problems in the groups. Maybe you change the way you work and you facilitate with groups thanks to this training. Can you, I don't know if you have some example of anything like that.
Yeah, I will answer to both questions. Definitely stepping out in this role of facilitation and learning and diving deeper into this, and all these tools that I gathered here on this training also learned me how to be a better member. So even as a member now, even if I'm stepping out of facilitation role and we have an external facilitator, I'm still a better member who can observe and see and tackle different layers and problems. And also I have some methods that I can offer that are self-facilitated already to my community that we can use and hold it together. And also being here with this powerful group and very, very powerful and knowledgeable facilitators empowered me a lot to actually design very nice content and hold it on the youth exchange that I had this September as well.
Today is the last day of the clips training, the second part, no? If you think about the first part and now this clips training then came afterwards, what the clips training gave you more than the first training? What added to your toolkits or to your experience, to your way to see groups? Did you improve through the clips?
Definitely, yes. It gave me a deeper meaning and knowledge and skill about facilitating groups that are not short-term groups, but really associations, communities, groups that have some process already or have an intention to be in a process for a longer period of time. And also we dive deeper into methods that are specific and very helpful for some problems that are common for most of these groups, like communities and associations. Then you can also, of course, translate it and modify it for some other kind of groups as well. But my idea was to actually learn a bit more how to tackle the specific problems that are connected to communities and associations.
I guess since this training is also related to youth, no? And I guess you do quite a lot of work with youth. And can you tell us how you might apply this knowledge you acquired here with work with youth?
Actually, since now I mostly work with youth, my intention is to start opening this and start working also not just with youth. But youth is just a very interesting field for me, and this is the first thing that inspired me to share my knowledge and hold space. And we are here in a community as Tori, and also as a group that is connected with this same topic of clips and holding space. We're also a small community that becomes a huge network now. And working with youth, there is this moment that we as facilitators want to put a bit of this intention of community into them as well, why they spend time together for 3 days, 4 days, even 6 days. So learning about these tools and observing about really positive and good practices here inspired me and gave me tools how to translate it and use it into the youth work as well.
Beautiful. Just the last question, imagine then a colleague of you, a youth worker, you see him on the internet and he's searching for a training and then somehow comes up to this Holding Space 2.0 application form and they're looking for participants. And he comes up to you and say, Vanja, you've been there, do you think I should apply to it? What you would say to him?
I would say definitely yes. I also been to different kind of trainings that are connected to facilitation, but this one was really transformative. And also there was a time to follow the transformation because we have these 2 parts and also we have mentoring during summer. So not just myself, but I also can get the feedback from trainers and from the group what they saw in my transformation, what are the specific points. So as a group we can follow it together and help each other. So definitely this is a very transformative process for me, and I think it's still continuing to be.
The Holding Space podcast. See you in the next episode.